This is the story of a little girl born different, of a brother determined that her voice be heard, a portrait of a family, and a vision to make a difference.
She was so tiny, she was only 4.5 pounds, and I couldn't possibly believe that anything could be wrong with her.
Right after my wife told me, I knelt down and I said, you know, God give us the strength to get through this.
The news was unexpected, the future uncertain. After an uneventful pregnancy, Sharon Skotko had given birth to a baby girl with Down syndrome. And yet, in the face of adversity, she and her husband Gary were determined.
With encouragement and perseverance, you can accomplish anything in life.
A lesson not lost on their son Brian, who even as a child saw the world through grown-up eyes, taking extra care to assure that his sister's dreams, however simple, were realized.
Ever since he's been able to walk, he's always been watching over her. It took him about 3 months, and he finally was able to teach her how to ride a bicycle.
We met a grown-up Brian as our GMA intern in 2000, just as he was applying to medical school.
Now, I understand you're a little nervous. You have an interview after the show for med school?
For med school, yeah, but I'm probably more nervous right now than I'm going to be for my interview.
Brian was accepted at Harvard Medical School, where I caught up with him recently as he begins his last year.
My dream is to be a doctor who helps diagnose, support, and give the life game plan for kids who have intellectual and developmental disabilities.
A dream forged early on as big brother to a sister who was often teased and ridiculed.
And very early on the playground, when I heard people use negative words such as, you know, stop being such a retard, and I recoiled because those words sting and those words bite. So from a very early age, I was forced to be an advocate for my sister.
Brian has recently published 2 studies in prestigious journals that look at the ways in which doctors deliver the news of a Down syndrome diagnosis. His study suggests doctors could do better, much better.
Rather than going in and saying, I'm sorry to have to tell you that, or unfortunately I have bad news, start by saying, congratulations, you've just had a child, but I have something that I'd like to talk to you about.
Remember we used to come here when we were young?
Yes, sir.
Brian's message is clear, pulled from the pages of his own story, that people with Down syndrome have much to give, and that he, for one, has a lot to be grateful for.
If you could talk directly to Kristen right now, what would you say to her in terms of what she's meant to you?
I would say thank you. You have been an inspiration and a motivation. You're someone who perseveres when life says no, and you're someone who has taught me to go after your dreams. I think she's helped me discover that treasures nestle in the small places, and that ultimately I think happiness comes from within.
Yeah, I love you, Kat.
I love you.
I'm forever grateful for her, and I'm working on her behalf.